Ever felt just completely overwhelmed? Like you're juggling way too much information, or maybe facing a really complex problem with what feels like countless moving parts. You just don't know where to start.
Oh, absolutely. It's a common feeling.
Well, today we're doing a deep dive into something that might just offer a surprisingly simple shortcut through all that complexity. It's called the theory of constraints, or TOC for short.
Right. A really powerful management philosophy.
Exactly. We've gathered some fascinating sources, the original ideas, how it's used today, and our mission really is to pull out the core concepts of TOC, figure out how it helps find that, weakest link in pretty much any system, and crucially, what that actually means for you, the listener.
Yeah, and what's really interesting to me is how TOC gives you this, well, quite straightforward, but still really profound way to look at and improve complex systems. It's all about focusing your effort, your energy, where it genuinely matters most for hitting your goals.
Okay, let's unpack this then. At its very heart, TOC, and this comes from Eliyahu Goldratt, it views any system you can manage, like a business or a project, as being limited.
Limited, yeah.
Limited in reaching its goals by just a very small number of things. Constraints. It really is that old saying, isn't it? A chain is no stronger than its weakest link.
Exactly. And if you think about that, it means organizations, processes, they're most vulnerable right where they're weakest. TOC uses this focusing process to pinpoint that specific constraint.
The bottleneck.
The bottleneck, yes. And then it helps you sort of restructure everything else around supporting that bottleneck.
So what exactly is a constraint then? Is it always a machine or something physical?
Good question. It's really anything that stops the system from getting closer to its goal. It's the limiting factor, the thing holding back more throughput even when, everything else is running perfectly.
Right.
And it can be internal, like equipment, sure, but it could also be people, maybe a lack of specific skills, or even like company policies or just ingrained ways of thinking, those mental models we get stuck in.
Right. We've always done it this way.
Exactly that. Or sometimes the constraint isn't even inside the company. It could be external, like simply not enough demand in the market for what you're selling.
Okay, that makes sense. So if we found our constraint, how does TOC suggest we measure success? How do we know if focusing on this constraint is actually, working?
Well, this is another area where TOC cuts through the noise. It proposes focusing on just 3 key financial measures, variations of them anyway. First is throughput.
Throughput. Okay, what's that?
Basically, it's the rate at which the system generates money through sales. Think of it as the money coming in.
Got it. Money in.
Second, operational expense. That's all the money the system spends to turn inventory into throughput. So the money going out to make the sales happen, salaries, rent, utilities, that sort of thing.
Okay, money out.
And third, inventory. This is all the money the system has invested in things it intends to sell. Raw materials, work in progress, finished goods, money tied up.
Money in, money out, money tied up, throughput, operational expense, inventory.
Exactly. For most businesses, the goal is profit, right? TOC argues that increasing throughput while decreasing operational expense and inventory is the most direct way to boost that profit. It gives you a really clear dashboard.
That does seem simpler than juggling hundreds of different metrics. Okay, so this brings us to the really practical part, the how-to, the 5 focusing steps.
Yes. The process of ongoing improvement. It's a cycle. Step 1, identify the system's constraint. Find that weakest link we talked about.
Okay, find bottleneck.
Step 2, decide how to exploit the constraint. This means getting the absolute most out of it using the resources you already have. No big spending yet, just making sure it's working as hard and effectively as possible.
Right, squeeze everything you can from what you've got. Then step 3.
Subordinate everything else to that decision. This is key. You align all the other parts of the system to support the constraint. Make sure it never waits for work, it's never blocked after doing its work, everything serves the constraint.
Like, if getting kids' shoes on is the morning bottleneck, everyone else stops what they're doing and helps find the shoes.
Exactly like that. Perfect analogy. Everyone supports the bottleneck. Then, after you've exploited and subordinated, comes step 4. Elevate the constraint.
Okay, now we can spend money.
Now you consider investing resources to increase its capacity. Maybe buy a faster machine, train people, change a policy, but only after you've maxed out steps 2 and 3.
Identify, exploit, subordinate, elevate. That's 4. What's the 5th?
It's a warning, really.
It is. A crucial one. Step 5 is basically, if you broke the constraint in the previous steps, meaning you elevated it so much it's no longer the bottleneck, go back to step 1, find the new constraint. But crucially, Do not allow inertia to cause a new constraint.
So don't just keep operating based on the old bottlenecks rules. Precisely. The system changes, the bottleneck moves. If you're not careful, your old solutions become the new problem. It's a continuous loop, always looking for the current weakest link.
That makes a lot of sense. It's not a one-time fix.
Well,
Now, how does this actually look in practice? I know one big application, especially in manufacturing, is something called drum buffer rope, or DBR.
yes, DBR is a classic TOC application for production. The drum is the constraint. Its pace sets the rhythm, the beat for the entire factory, like a drummer in a band.
Okay, the bottleneck sets the tempo.
Then you have buffers. These are strategic amounts of time, usually placed right before the constraint, maybe sometimes after. They act as cushions to protect the constraint from disruptions upstream or downstream.
Like having a small pile of work ready, just in case the previous step hiccups.
Exactly. It ensures the constraint is never starved for work. You often see visual systems for managing these buffers, green, yellow, red zones indicating priority.
And the rope.
The rope is the signal, often linked to the buffer status, that tells the very beginning of the process when to release new work into the system. It ties the release of materials to the drum's beat, preventing overwhelming work in progress from building up.
So drum sets the pace, buffers protect it, rope controls the input. Neat.
Very neat, and it works. But TOC goes way beyond just the factory floor, right?
Oh, absolutely. These focusing steps have been adapted everywhere. Project management has critical chain project management, which is huge. It applies TOC principles to manage project timelines and resources, focusing on the longest chain of dependent tasks, considering resource constraints.
Managing uncertainty in projects.
And then there are the thinking processes, a set of logical tools Goldratt developed.
Yeah, tools designed to help managers figure out the core problem, build consensus on a solution, map out implementation, and overcome resistance to change. Really powerful for tackling those messy, complex issues.
So it seems like TOC offers both specific operational techniques like DBR and these broader thinking tools.
It does. It's a whole system of management. And like any influential framework, it's sparked debate, discussions about its origins, how it relates to lean or other methodologies. But that's part of its strength, I think. It's a living, evolving approach.
So really, the big takeaway seems to be this relentless focus on the one thing that's holding you back the most right now. Find it, max it out, support it, maybe improve it, and then find the next one.
That's the essence of it. It's this powerful reminder that even in really complex situations, there's often an underlying simplicity. And if you can find that point of leverage, that constraint, targeted action there can give you massive results, disproportionate results, really.
So thinking about this, what stands out to you listening right now? Can you maybe identify a bottleneck in your own work or even just in your daily life?
Yeah, where's your weakest link?
Could finding that constraint and really focusing on exploiting it be the key to your next big breakthrough? Something to think about.